Hey guys, welcome back to Home Built, and this week we can finally start welding everything together. Finally! Before I get into things today, I just thought I would talk to you guys a little bit about a new thing that we're running. Those of you who have been watching the 911 build will have seen that I've actually released with Ronia, one of our viewers from the Netherlands, a parts comparison website, PorschePartsByJeff.com. And we're actually just announcing that we're just opening up AlfaPartsByJeff.com as well. So we want you guys to head over there and have a look.
Any suggestions? So if you think of another shop that you think would be good on the site, please let us know.
Give us suggestions in the comments.
Yeah.
Tell us what you think. Tell us what we need to add, and
what you would like to see on it, that kind of thing. So, what if you were looking for a part, what would you look for?
Basically, it's something that you guys can help us develop and help us get better at. PorschePartsByJeff.com is already working fantastically, and we're getting a really good feedback. And we really want to develop AlfaPartsByJeff.com as well. They both are really cool sites. They basically just punch in whatever parts you're looking for, and it will search through a bunch of different stores, and then you can link through to those stores and buy them. We don't actually sell anything. It's just a comparison site. And
we all know that building a car is hard enough.
Yes.
Right.
This makes it really easy to find what you need. So we want all your suggestions in the comments. So check it out, AlfaPartsByJeff.com.
Yeah, we'd love to know what you think. It'd be really great.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, those of you who have been following this project will have seen that it's taken me weeks and weeks to get everything lined up the way that I wanted it to on the back end of this car. It's quite a lot of work to get everything so that it all fits nicely. So we've got nice panel gaps everywhere. But finally, I can start pulling this car apart and start getting it ready to weld it all together. So before I do that, what I need to do is I need to go round and actually mark all of these panels where they're currently sitting on the car so that I know where I can cut it and actually start welding them all together. So first thing before I move anything is out with a texter and a scribe, and I'm going to go through and I'm going to just mark everything and get it so that it's I know where everything's supposed to go, and then we can start pulling it apart. Okay, so now the whole back end of the car is stripped back off again. Before we start actually welding things on, I thought I might come through and do some repairs. So you can see this rear parcel shelf has got some really deep pitting and stuff along here. I'm going to go through and cut out and repair the bulk of the nastiest parts of the pitting. This center panel here, actually on the earlier cars, is like these ones, is just open. So I'm actually going to do the same thing on this, is just open it up, and I'll go around and repair these edges. But I'm going to do it all now while the back of the car is off, because it's going to be much easier to get to at the moment. All right, so I've cut out my next patch repair piece, but this one, what I actually want to do is I want to roll this edge over because it's got to fit into one of the recessed grooves. So the way I'm going to try doing it this time is I'm going to actually just use the dies on the bead roller, and I'm just going to put a crease over the edge of this all the way around, and hopefully that will just be enough to tweak it. So as you can see, all these rust repairs are very, very time consuming to make the piece exactly the way you want it. And if I can get it to sit here while I'm holding the camera, to get it all fit nicely is quite a tedious task, but that is fitting nicely now. So now it's time to start tack it in and then weld it up. Alright, the repair on here is okay. It's not as great as I hoped. This edge I've still got to do a few touch-ups, and these holes here are actually punched into the panel so that I can MIG them onto, there's a little support bracket that underneath that holds the springs for the boot. So what I'm going to try over here on these holes is, instead of making a big mess like this by cutting the whole area out and repatching it, because most of the edge here is all good and there is some pitting there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get behind with this old piece of copper rod and hold it from underneath and MIG onto top of it, and that should, you know, fill up the holes with weld. I can then grind it back and hopefully that should repair it, and I'll just go over that area and see if that will be a simpler method of repair. I filled up the holes, but there's just too much pitting around this this metal itself, so I'm going to cut this area out. I think that sort of repair is perfect for something a bit more like this hole here, where it's got very little pitting around it. It's pretty solid metal either side. It's just got a little you know, a small hole there. I might go through and do that on that hole now. See, there's another one there. Just you know, it's gone through there. That edge I can just, you know, fill up, and yeah, it should be easier to do those sort of repairs on those bits. But that, just too much thin pitted metal there that I really need to cut it out and replace it. Okay, so those repairs along the top are looking quite good now. They're that's the way to do those sort of repairs. It's much better than to cut them out and weld in big patches, I think anyway. But moving on now, I need to go down here, and where I cut this rear panel off, I actually cut a bit deep and I cut into this support underneath. So let's go through now and just weld up these little bits on either side where I've overcut, and we can keep moving forward. This parcel shelf has definitely been far more work than I was planning, but it's getting there, and there's one last bit of rust to tackle, and that's this bit here. So again, I'm going to get my patch piece made up and cut it out and weld it in, and then the parcel shelf should be reasonably good. There's some pitting and stuff in here which is there, but the metal's solid, so it's going to stay. That short of replacing the entire thing, which I don't really want to do, it's all good. I'm actually liking that method much better, is actually going through and tacking it all together with the MIG, grinding down those welds, just the little tacks, and then finishing it off with the TIG. It just seems to be a nicer mix. It's very difficult to tack weld with the TIG, and if there's any gap, you just blow a hole. TIG is very finicky, as I am learning, and yeah, I like the MIG is easy, but I don't like doing the whole weld with it. So I think that's the good combination. I think that's the way I'm going to concentrate on doing things moving forward. All right, I'm quite happy with the parcel shelf now. That is, as far as I'm concerned, that is repaired. What I'm thinking now is, while I have no boot floor and I can actually get in here, it's going to be a lot easier to repair this top edge of the windscreen while it's here. These sides where they're really badly rusted through, I'm actually going to leave that until later, until I've welded on the this rear window panel. I'm just going to leave that because it's got some structure there. I can weld this panel on, and then I can go back and repair those bits afterwards. I just want to leave as much structure there for the time being as I can. So I'm just going to go through, just do a couple of little strip patches along these edges. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 strips there that I'm going to go through and repair now, and yeah, then hopefully I can move on to other rust repair. Yay! Okay, the top part of the window frame is all looking good. That bit is repaired, but now I need to move further forward. Some of the things that are going to get covered up when I actually start painting the car are things like all this in here. So all of this area is little rusted out spots that I need to fix up before I can actually put the other panels on. So I'm going to cut out some of this stuff here and do some more rust repair. All right, this strip along here is particularly nasty, so I'm going to cut out a nice big bit there. There's a little bit of shaping I need to do on this little edge here because there's a step in this that sort of fades down to nothing. I'll add that little step in there and we should be good.
Hey guys, 1950 saw an important development for Alfa Romeo with the release of the 1900. This new model was the marque's first car built entirely on a production line and without a separate chassis. It was offered in 2-door and 4-door variants with a 1.9 litre 4-cylinder twin-cam engine making 90 horsepower. Alfa's slogan when selling it was the family car that wins races, referring to the success in the Targa Florio, the Stella Alpina and other competitions. Over the car's 10-year evolution, Alfa released the 1900 Ti, the 1900 Super and the 1900 Ti Super, with its power jumping from 100 to 115 horsepower. The chassis was designed specifically to allow coach builders to rebody it, most notably by Zagato with the 1900 Super Sprint Coupe. Also, the off-road Mata was based on the 1900 chassis.
All right, that was a whole lot of rust repairs that I wasn't exactly expecting to do at this stage.
I feel like you said that every time. Like every time it's like, oh, I wasn't expecting the rust, but really, I mean, it's not really a surprise anymore, is it?
It's really not. I mean, I knew the thing was rusty, but I was expecting to be able to start welding some of these panels together, but it was really worth getting to the rust while I can get to it. But we're getting there. I'm chipping away at it, but it's it's just what it takes to do this properly.
Christmas is just around the corner, so who would not want a home-built
680G t-shirts? Yeah, shirts, mugs, great Christmas suggestions. So check them out in the description.
Yeah.
Also Patreon.
If you'd like to support the channel, see the shows a day early, please join us on Patreon. Otherwise, let us know what you think of everything, and you can follow us on Facebook and
Instagram. And make sure you check out alphapartsbyjeff.com. Yes. Let us know. We really want to know what you think in the description, so let us know.
See what you think.
All right, guys. See you next time. See ya.
90 horsepower. We'll release the 1900 Ti. Oh, what?
Ti right there.
Alfa released. See, coach builders to modify. Coach builders to remodify it. The chassis was to rebody it.